Now that sure was a good weekend of Phillies baseball. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Stats videocast. Today we're going to recap this afternoon's spring training game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates as the Phillies defeat the Pirates by a final score of 6-5. As Matt Joyce and Herrera really pushed the Phillies to victory in this one. Now, guys, before getting this video, please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. This was a great game here for the Phils. Just a great job here. I love this victory. This was just a great victory. I love the Herrera home run that was hit. Matt Joyce, once again, you heard that he, really wasn't running hard out of the box, and you see Joe Girardi make some comments after the game. Matt Joyce, he's got this bench spot. He just does. He's proved it. He's had himself a great spring. He's just blown me away. How good he was. Going into camp, I thought, man, maybe there's a chance he's not even going to make the team. Well, that has been blown out of the water. He's probably most likely going to make the team. He's had himself a great spring. Herrera has really impressed me. I just made a post about it. I understand there's a lot of, I forgive him, but I understand people that don't forgive him. I understand if you have a family member, close friend, or anybody get affected by a domestic violence incident. I understand that. I completely understand that. If you're not willing to forgive, I understand what he did was really wrong. I understand other sides of the argument, and I'm open to that. And I hear you. I understand you, and I hear you. But that's just my opinion. We're all entitled to our own opinion. I forgive. I choose to forgive Herrera for what he did. It does not mean I support what he did. That does not mean I agree with what he did. I do not condone it. I do not condone it at all. But he paid the he paid the price. He did his time. He got punished, and it's time to move on. It is time to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you can think what you think. I don't care. And that's what makes the world go around, right? It's a free country. You're allowed to think what you think. You're entitled to your opinion. But my opinion is I think we need to move on. Of course, you don't have to believe that. That's my opinion. But, regardless, what a great game here for Odubel. smacking a homer out to right field. This was just a great game. Matt Moore started this game for the Phils. Was very solid. Unfortunately, we got a bit of a shaky, later in the ball game in the bottom of the seventh inning without that grand slam. But other than that, the pitching staff did its job in this game for the most part. Let's pick up the scoring summary in the top of the first inning. Matt Joyce. We have a little bit of a good opening start to this game as he singles on a line drive to left field the opposite way to Dustin Flower. Odubel Herrera scores. It's now 1-0 Phils. So the Phils jump ahead early. What a great start to this game. Matt Joyce, as I said, he would not be done after this point, but what a great start against his former team. He was a Pittsburgh Pirate, I'm going to say about 5 years ago. So he's doing some damage against his former squad. And then we have some fundamental baseball here in the top of the first inning, ladies and gentlemen, as Andrew Knapp hits a sacrifice fly to center field to Brian Goodwin, the former Washington National, as Alec Bohm speeds home to score, and it's now 2-0 Phils. So the Phillies jump ahead 2-0 in the top of the first inning, which put the pressure on the other team. When you score first, you put the pressure on the other team. That's what the Phillies did this afternoon. I love to see it. I love to put the pressure on the other team. I love scoring first. It always makes me feel good to score first, and I love the fundamental baseball that Joe Girardi is teaching this squad in spring training. How promising is it to see it in spring training? And then in the bottom of the first inning, we let the Pirates get one back as Jacob Shingles homers on a fly ball to left field, his first of the spring, a solo shot, and it now makes it a 2-1 ball game. So the Pirates cut the lead in half against Matt Moore, and that was really the only bad pitch that Matt Moore made this afternoon. Other than that, he's very good. I like that Matt Moore's a lefty. I'm not going to say I really like Matt Moore, but I like that he's a lefty. That's really the only big mistake that he made this afternoon was that bad pitch there to allow that home run. Once again, not really the end of the world there. And then in the top of the third inning, to lead off the inning, Odubel Herrera hits a leadoff home run on a line drive to right field. He smoked it, his second of the spring, and the Phillies now take a 3-1 lead. So once again, we get that lead, that run right back in the top of the third inning. We got our 2-run lead back. Odubel Herrera, once again, he's kind of, getting a little bit of a dry spell. Really started this spring fantastic. Lately he's been struggling a little bit. Had a, little bunt hit there earlier in the game. That was really nice to see down the third base line. Legged it out. I love to see that. I heard that on the radio. That was really cool. He shows off his speed, and then he shows off his power in the top of the third inning, launching a home run to right field. So, once again, you have the injury to Hayes. So a lot of people think that Roman Quinn should be the everyday center fielder. I disagree. He doesn't have. I don't think he's there when it comes to offensive stats. I just don't. I don't like him. Going out to the plate, getting 4 ABs every day. I just don't. I love his speed. He's kind of a weird defender. It's just there's just no common sense with Roman Quinn when it comes to defense. But I mean, offensively, I just don't really like Roman Quinn. I just don't. And once again, I mean, Joe Herrera, I mean, he's not perfect either. Once again, I mean, forget what he did off the field. But even on the field, too, I mean, he's not a very pure hitter. If you're talking about, baseball stands here, right? I mean, statistics here, right? No, not stands, statistics. If you're talking about baseball statistics here, I mean, Joe Herrera, not the cleanest hitter. He's just kind of goofy, right? He's just kind of goofy. He has, a lot of inconsistencies, up and down, up and down. He's not the purest hitter, but I think he's the best man for the job. I do. I mean, of course, Adam Hazley, he's not even going to be ready to do that groin strain, so that's a big mess. Then in the top of the fifth inning, Alec Bohm doubles on a line drive to left field. Scott Kingery scores, and it's now a 4-1 ball game. So Alec Bohm, this guy, I mean, I love Alec Bohm. I mean, once again, if he could continue to improve his defense, this guy's going to be one of the best, third basemen of all baseball. I mean, I love Anthony Rendon. He was one of my top 5 favorite players. Probably like my 4th favorite player in baseball. I mean, this guy is just awesome. And I see some similarities when it comes to offensively. I mean, I really do with Anthony Rendon and Alec Bohm. I just do. I see a lot of similarities. Simple approach, not trying to do too much. Just get the job done. Tony Two Bags. I mean, Alec Bohm is a doubles machine, am I right? I mean, once again, we don't need to hit a lot of home runs. We just don't. Because we have guys that are going to hit home runs on this team, like, Bryson Reese. JT's going to crank 25 to 30. Didi's going to crank, over 25. He has the potential to, at least. We don't need to be overpowering. We just don't. I mean, we just need him to do his job, and he's doing his job, which I love to see. So Alec Bohm, just continue to do your thing. Then in the same inning, Matt Joyce singles on a line drive to right field. Alec Bohm scores from second. And it is now a 5-1 ball game. So the Phillies were not done in that inning. And Matt Joyce, in the top of the first inning, as I said, got that RBI single. Well, as I said, he was not done. He was not done, as he just continues to rake this spring, man. Once again, he's earned his spot. I mean, once again, he has done a great job this spring. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the regular season come out the bench. I mean, once again, it's not confirmed, but I think he's played well enough. We're up to this point where we're almost halfway through spring training. I think it's fair to say, ladies and gentlemen, I think he's earned a roster spot. I just do. I think off the bench, I think he's definitely going to be bad off the bench. So I mean, I love to see it. I just love to see it. Then at the top of the 7th inning, Derek Hall homers on a fly ball to right field, his first of the spring. He got all of that one, folks. I mean, that ball was just absolutely destroyed. Nice to see out of Derek Hall, and the Phillies now take a 6-1 lead. They'd be done scoring runs after that point. Once again, what a great great day offensively for the Phillies. I mean, their bats are waking up a little bit here. And once again, you didn't get to see Bryce Reese. Of course, you haven't seen JT all spring. So, I mean, what a great job. You got guys like Derek Hall, Matt Joyce, Odubel Herrera. Guys are coming through. Then at the bottom of the 7th inning, we got a grand slam. Raul Castro, he homers on a fly ball to left field. As I said, a grand slam, his second home run of the spring. And it's now a 6-5 ball game all of a sudden. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, once again, these games don't mean anything, but I'm like, my oh my, I mean, we're going to blow this game. Once again, it's spring training, games don't mean anything. I'm like, in a regular season field, it'd be like, oh my goodness gracious, we're going to blow this game. But you know what, folks? We hung on to win this ball game. 6-5, your final score is the Phillies win. Once again, I mean, the bullpen held on here. I mean, except for that, big mistake by Jacob Hernandez, who's just had himself a dreadful start to the spring. I mean, other than that, I mean, of course, he's not going to be a regular guy coming out of the Phillies bullpen in, regular season. So it wasn't like, Brian Mitchell allowed this grand slam. It wasn't like, Brandon Kinsler allowed this grand slam. It wasn't like Hector Neris allowed it. It wasn't like, one of the Phillies' main guys, right? I mean, it wasn't one of the Phillies' main guys. This is, like Jacob Hernandez. I mean, he's not going to be, a big guy coming out of Phillies bullpen. I mean, give me a break. This is spring training. You can't really look too much into this. I mean, not only is Jacob Hernandez not that good, but it's also spring training. So you're not going to see any of the big boys coming out of the Phillies bullpen, get a lot of action. You're just not. You haven't really seen much of Hector Neris, of course. But let's take a look at Scott Kingery today. Scored that run, but other than that, man, he's had himself a very, very bad start to the spring. I'm a little bit concerned about him, and I was actually on a bike ride today, and I was actually thinking a lot about Scott Kingery and what his future holds for, with the Phillies. And after a really, really down 2020 season, that was blamed on the virus, and I kind of thought about this. That was used as the scapegoat. Okay, it was used as the scapegoat. That was the excuse as to why he didn't have a good season. First of all, he had it way before this. I mean, it wasn't way before the season started. He had it, towards the beginning when the season started, before the season started. And he didn't really fully recover before opening day, but it wasn't like he had it all throughout the season, right? It wasn't like he had it all throughout the season. And yeah, like he did kind of seem like he was playing catch up, but I think that was used as the excuse for why he had a down season. I'm not going to buy it. Once again, that was the excuse that was used by the Phillies and everybody that, oh, well, he had the virus, so that's why his production was down. I mean, like, once again, I mean, yeah, is it going to affect your playing ability? Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, that's just you hit 140. I mean, that is just ridiculous. I mean, no one could really defend you there. And once again, I mean, we hit 136 so far, and he's had like 22 at bats. So he's just not there. He's just not there mentally. It's something mental because I know he's better than this. Once again, it is spring training. But we saw this last spring training, 2020, he wasn't doing very well. I mean, he's showing signs of it. And, I mean, people are throwing like, whoa, why don't they give him a starting job? Well, he come out and hit 140. How in the world do you expect to have a starting job after you hit 140? I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, you can't, that's unexcusable. It's inexcusable. How do you expect to have a starting job after you hit 140? This guy's going to be, a versatile player. He's a versatile player. He's going to be a platoon guy. He's going to see some time in center because he's a righty. And, our center field situation right now is very, very left-handed heavy. We have Herrera out there. We got Roman Kunz, the switch hitter. We got Adam Hazley out there, who's also a lefty. So, I mean, Scott Green is going to see some time at center. And he had himself a pretty good stint out there in 2019. We got to see some time. He did well. He's going to see some time around the infield. And same with Brad Miller. But, I mean, once again, the thing I love with Brad Miller and, Scott King is, righty-lefty. I love that. It's just such a good design there. One's a righty, one's a lefty. I think that's a great idea. But, getting back to this again, I'm very, very concerned. I mean, once again, I know the potential's there. We're here, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, here's another guy that, had a lot of hype, and he really hasn't lived up to it. He just really hasn't lived up to it. It's just disappointing. It's so disappointing. Herrera, great day today. As I said, hit that home run. I love that little, drag bunt he did down the third base line. I don't even call it a drag bunt, but that little bunt he did down the third base line, that was awesome. Scored those 2 runs. I mean, what a great job of Herrera. Once again, you got to put that, in my opinion, I'm going to put that behind me. And once again, I understand people that don't. And once again, what he did was horribly, horribly wrong. And I definitely do not support it and agree with it. I mean, that was totally immoral. But he did his time. Alec Bohm was kind of slumping a little bit. I mean, he needed that today. A little 2-hit day, scoring those 2 runs, and Matt Joyce with those 2 RBI singles. I mean, Andrew Knapp with that sac fly. I mean, we were doing our job today. Derek Hall hitting that home run to right field. We were doing our job today. I love this Phillies team. I love the performance we saw of this Phillies team today. Once again, you can't really get too fired up about spring training. I don't really have that regular season feel I usually feel. But I feel good about this game. Once again, we're almost halfway through spring training, which is just hard to believe. But as you take a look at Matt Moore's start today, 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. The run was earned. That was that home run in the bottom of the first inning, 3 strikeouts. And his ERA is just now 1.13. I mean, he's had himself a very, very good start to the spring. And once again, his last start was very, very good. This start, very, very good. And, and Joe Girardi's allowed him to go more than just 2 innings. Right? You saw it yesterday with Zach Eflin, and he went 4. So he's getting a little more leeway here. We're getting later in spring training now. You're starting to see it. We're getting, halfway through spring training. We're starting to see a little bit more, leeway when, it comes to manager Joe Girardi. We're starting to see it, with, letting guys get more innings in there. I like that. I like that idea. I think that's a very, very smart idea. But Jacob Hernandez, I mean, pretty much the only guy the Phillies, pitching, staff out, today, we got to see, allowed that grand slam at the bottom of the 7th inning. I mean, other than that, if you take him out of the equation, David Hale did his job. Brandon Kinsler did his job. Connor Brogdon. I mean, I love Connor Brogdon. I mean, this guy, can I just say this about him? Connor Brogdon, he's just a secret weapon. He is a secret weapon out of this Phillies bullpen. I mean, I just love this guy. He has just been great. Once again, I'm so impressed with this pitching staff, what they've been able to do. Let's go. Let's go, man. And this is great. This is great. This is another feel-good win here for the Phillies. The Phillies take on the New York Yankees tomorrow at George M. Steinbrenner Field, 1:05 the first pitch. As Chase Anderson takes the mound, he is 2-0, and he's not allowed to run this spring, and we're going against Jerman, who's making, I believe, his first start of the spring. So, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Sats of Instagram, TikTok, RVNX, Instagram, card text 267-225-3392. Email me, philliessatsaf@gmail.com. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Thank you guys. This week I'll be back. Toronto Blue Jays and Detroit Tigers, I think, and I'm going to recap the game on Friday. I'm going to recap that game on Friday because I want to actually recap 22 spring training games this spring training to get that number up to an even number. I'm a little bit weird about that kind of stuff. So guys, thanks so much once again. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phillies. I'll see you guys.